All right, let's dive into something that I think is super important: how to actually make a lasting impression. We're going to talk about a strategy called the spike method. It's all about how you can stand out in a world that honestly seems to want everyone to just blend in.
You know that feeling? You're at a party, maybe in a work meeting, or even just hanging out with new people, and you get this little pit in your stomach, this feeling that you're just not making an impact, that you might be, well, forgettable. It's a really common fear, and today we're going to figure out how to solve it. So let's talk about this fear, the fear of being forgettable. A lot of it comes from something I call the well-rounded trap. And yeah, it's a real trap. And it actually starts with a piece of advice we've all been hearing our entire lives. Think about it. We're always told to be well-rounded, right? Be pretty good at a little bit of everything. But here's the problem. When you do that, you kind of become this smooth, uniform surface. There's nothing for people to grab onto, nothing that sticks in their mind. If you don't really excel at any one thing, you don't stand out for anything. You basically become invisible. But what if I told you that being interesting isn't some magical personality trait you're either born with or you're not? What if it's actually a formula, something you can learn? That's the huge idea we're exploring today. So let's completely reframe how we think about this. Forget personality being this fixed, mysterious thing. Just think of it like this. It's a collection of memorable traits. And if they're just traits, well, that means you can choose them. You can cultivate them. You can literally build your own memorability. So if the problem is being too smooth and well-rounded, what's the solution? Well, it's to become the exact opposite. And this is where the spike method comes in. It's the powerful, direct solution to the problem of blending in. This chart right here just lays it all out perfectly. On the left, you've got your well-rounded person. They know a little bit about sports, a little about politics, maybe some pop culture. They're trying to fit in everywhere. But the spiky person, they might know literally everything there is to know about, say, the history of Scandinavian furniture design. They're a deep expert in one very specific niche, and because of that, they're absolutely unforgettable. And the key here, the absolute most important part, is the number one. The magic of this whole thing isn't about being an expert in 5 different things, no way. It's about taking all that energy, all that curiosity, and channeling it into becoming deeply, impressively knowledgeable about just one thing. I mean, come on, I love this example because it just shows how wonderfully weird and specific your spike can be. Cleaning lore. Can you imagine meeting someone at a party who can tell you the crazy history of bleach or the chemical engineering behind a perfect stain remover? You would never forget that person. You wouldn't just remember them. You'd go tell your friends about the cleaning expert you just met. Okay, so how do you actually do this? Let's break it down. First, you've got to identify your niche. And don't overthink this. What's that one topic you find yourself Googling at 2 in the morning? What's that YouTube rabbit hole you fell down last week? It could be anything. The history of synthesizers, urban beekeeping, Roman military tactics, whatever. Second, cultivate deep knowledge. Go way past the surface level. Find the subreddits, follow the experts, read the books. Your goal is to become the person your friends automatically text when they have a question about it. And third, and this is so important, own it. Don't hide your weird interest. Bring it up when it feels natural. Let that unique knowledge become a part of who you are. And when you do this, you're not just becoming more interesting to talk to, you are actively gaining what I'd call an invisible advantage in so many different parts of your life. This is way more than just a party trick. The payoffs are so real. In your friend group, you become the ancient coin guy or the urban gardening expert. In super competitive places like Ivy League admissions, a unique spike can make your application leap out from a pile of thousands of well-rounded kids. You become the go-to person, the authority. And that, right there, is the foundation of a seriously memorable personal brand. At the end of the day, it really comes down to this. In a world that is just flooded with information and people all screaming for attention, the ability to stick in someone's mind, that is a genuine superpower. It opens doors and creates opportunities in a way that just fitting in never, ever will. So this brings us right to the end of our explainer. And I really want to turn this whole thing back around on you. So what is it for you? What's that one obscure topic, that hidden passion, that unique little corner of knowledge that you could really cultivate and own? Finding it and then leaning all the way into it might just be the most interesting thing you ever do. Give that some thought.